And there's not, it's like almost going, I mean, Sunday, it'll be, I guess it's over 3 weeks now, 3.5 weeks. And, there's like nothing. And then the news, like, stories are they'll say one new thing that they found out, and then they'll act like it's breaking news, and then it's like it doesn't go anywhere. So, and then it's the same stuff repeated over and over again. But it's just, I don't understand why there's, and then there's a lot of like rumors too that I can't, does look suspicious. I mentioned like that surfaced like right away, and I had already like, I was a little bit past that when I started following the case. I wasn't like looking at the food truck, but that was the initial like, oh my gosh, it has to be that guy. And then all we heard was, oh, he was ruled out. But then now that you look at, I go back and look at these videos, and they're trying to say that this person, you know, that the families of Kaylee Gone Clubs says certain people were rolled out too quickly, and so that's, I guess, who they're talking about, to the point of him saying he wants to hire a private investigator. And now there's this talk that that guy doesn't, you know, because he's asking for the alibi, but what is the alibi? Because the parents want to know stuff, but I guess they keep going on the news, so the detectives are like not giving them information because it might ruin their case, I guess, or any information they're trying to get out there. The whole thing is just baffling to me. And then the fact that there's just nothing, they're not telling us much, which makes us feel like even weirder about it, because then it's like, are they narrowing in on a suspect, or are they like have nobody and nothing and like no evidence? And it's just a mystery to me. But I mean, I could piece together some things in my head as to what I think could have happened, but it's just like, it's not hard to do that. Like, assume somebody came in through the back door, probably wearing gloves, you know, if he really, I don't know. Could he have left footprints? Maybe, you know, but that, I don't know. Much more than that. I mean, yeah, they could have DNA, a hair strand. There could be so much evidence to comb through, and so many people that were in the house. But the fact that there's no suspects and that there's no information, and all the information that seems new is like doesn't go anywhere, it's just baffling to me. But because now I'm like in like this whole like other Jack person, they're now saying it's this food truck guy. When I look at his video, it does look really odd because he is talking to the girls and waving them off, and then when they leave, he like walks away too. So that is suspicious. But now I feel like they're making up stuff, like with this victim has more significant wounds, then it's this victim, then this one has defense. That stuff's a little bit, the only thing I can gather when they're saying if Kaylee and if they were together, one of them was attacked first, and then they would have less significant wounds because the other one would hear and then wake up and try to fight a little bit. That's all I can make of that. But the whole targeted, my thought was that it was the house I thought was targeted because, yeah, it faces the backwoods right there. There, you know, there's no cameras, there's no good lighting. It's off campus where the kids are all getting drunk. They don't have to. I guess the campus is alcohol free, So that whole area is known to be an area where there are a lot of drink and party, and so that's a lot of people. We can't really, like, I mean, everyone's kind of judging the cops because there's people trying to, like, you know, cyber sleuths, whatever, TikTok detectives, whatever you want. People are wondering, like, we're just trying to figure out and piece together. I mean, now with social media, I mean, I went and looked at all of these people's, like, friends lists, like on Facebook, the victims, they're like wide open. And so I start scrolling down, looking at who are they friends with, you know, and then who had a hunting photo in the picture, you know, who's a hunter. And then look, then there's so many possibilities. My first thought was that this was just some crazy person who has either done this before or just always wanted to do something like this, and one day he snapped, you know, and they could have a cooling off period and do something like that again. So that was my initial thought. But now hearing more about how, you know, the girls could have been targeted, and then looking back at the you know, that food truck tape and thinking, wow, maybe they did know they were gonna go. Maybe that, you never know, maybe somebody did see them there, whether it's that guy that was caught on camera, like watching them and putting his hoodie up and all that. I mean, I don't know, but that is weird. Somebody could have seen them and been like, oh, that's the house where those kids get drunk every weekend back by the woods. Somebody could have, like, walked back by those woods and just sat there and waited for the lights and to go out and then make their move, you know, just some whack job. If it's somebody they knew, I mean, I guess, yeah, it could have been somebody maybe obsessed with one of those girls. They're not giving a lot of the details, so people are online saying that this John Jack Showalter apparently is the hoodie, like, food truck kid, and then they show pictures of his family hunting and show that they've used the knives and gutted animals, but that was very common in Idaho too. But suppose the rumor is that the father is hiring a private investigator because the family thinks that suspects were ruled out too quickly, and that maybe that guy, I heard, oh, he dropped out of school. This is what I heard, but I don't know if this is true. That his alibi, this is only rumor, that this guy's Jack Showalter, whatever, his alibi was that he drove 5 hours back to his family's cabin and then supposedly dropped out of school, and now they're back in Africa or something, which I guess his family did adopt a bunch of kids from Africa. And then if it's the same person, and posted the hunting photos, so that's supposedly the mother's Facebook page of this John Jack Showalter. So I don't know what's confirmed and what's not. That's what's frustrating, because I do know that those hunting photos are real and that kid is real, whether or not he's the food truck dude, or whether or not he had a good alibi, or whether or not he's in Africa. Nobody knows 100%, other than all these, like, rumors, because the dad gets on camera saying that he wants to hire a private investigator and that people were ruled out too quick. So the family definitely has their suspicions, and they definitely did, like, say they were suspicious of that person. And now there's all these rumors flying about that particular person, and I want, like, the truth and the actual facts. So, but it's like, where do we get those from, you know, like, other than you do your own looking on Facebook and stuff? That's what people have done, you know. But it seems like some online people that are, you know, snooping around have pieced together more things than the police have, or I guess are willing to give. Obviously they're just not saying much. You know, this is a hunt for somebody who's, I don't even know. I mean, for people like that, that's not like a one-off, in my opinion. Nobody does that and then doesn't do that type of behavior again or gets angry, and you know what I'm saying? Kind of goes back to that Joran Vandersloot. Remember that guy who got away with Natalie Holloway's, I mean, he was the last one seen with Natalie Holloway in Aruba. Never found her. They never found her body, but everybody thought it was him. Years later, he ended up in a South American country. I don't know which one it was off the top of my head, Peru, or I don't want to say, and he actually was busted. He had got caught this time. He killed a girl who just so happened to have a little bit of priority because her father was in politics in the country or something. Just look it up. I'm not trying to misrepresent anything, but the father of the victim definitely pursued it. You know, they had cameras from the hotel, evidence, whatever. So years later, he ended up getting convicted of murder. But that one case went completely cold. I'm talking about the Natalie Holloway and that Joran Vandersloot. Very interesting, because years later, he's resurfaced. Much like O.J. Simpson got away with Nicole, okay? I can publicly say that because the guy gives interviews, really bizarre interviews, saying, suppose I did commit it. Suppose I was with the guy named Charlie. Go look it up for yourself. Go look up the O.J. Simpson confession. Like, it's real weird. It's an interview he does where he gives a description of what it would be like if Nicole Brown Simpson and that guy was not Mark Furman, that was the cop. Oh, blanking out. That was in the 90s. Remember how they were off, and then years later the guy is convicted of like some crazy crap. We see this a lot, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this Idaho, whoever did this stuff with the Idaho case, even though they say it's targeted, my whole thing is this is a dangerous individual who will do something dangerous again. Nobody does that. Nobody gets that angry and that mad because somebody rejected them, or, you know, that's not normal. That's just not normal. And that type of behavior is a type that we around in somebody's community. So I'm just baffled. And the news doesn't give, it's like, oh, breaking news. And then it's such a letdown, you know? And then I find all these interesting like rabbit holes. And then it's like, but then I don't know if it's corroborated. I don't know. All I know is that if you do go and watch the video, which I'm going to post, the video of the food truck. I posted on my TikTok, but like a clear video of it where you actually see like narration from the newscaster talking about the guy, and he's like looking at the girls, and then he waves to the girls. Then when somebody points off that they're leaving, and then even motions like, oh, sleep, like they're going to go to sleep or something. I don't know. We're getting tired. I don't know. I don't know. My mom had a one-night stand with a drug addict, and that's, I don't know. I was created. So basically, yeah, watch the tape because it's weird. It's weird, you know? And then I was believing the cops, and they're like, this person's ruled out, this person's ruled out, this person. But now not everybody, but everyone online looking at this thing is all like, oh, they're saying who this food truck guy is and going into details. And I posted a video of the food truck on, and then the conspiracy theorist right now on my TikTok, but just now on my YouTube, I posted like a 1-minute play of like, I guess the photographs that somebody found on a friend, supposedly the food truck guy, I was associate at least, or Facebook friend of Kaylee, that I don't want to misquote anything, but this Jack John, or his name's John, but he goes by Jack Showalter. Apparently his family, you know, was into hunting, and the pictures are kind of like, when you look at pictures like that, even if it's not this person, I don't want to accuse somebody falsely at all, but the whole thing was like, hunting is so big in Idaho, and the type of weapon that was used is used in that type of situation, where you can see a guard on the weapon. And so it's like awkward when somebody catches you like in your car filming by yourself, and you're like, okay. I feel it's like I gotta go in the house. I gotta get back to work. But what I was saying was, it does give a picture of a cop. No, but if you look at the hunters, a lot of people in Idaho are hunters. So it's either somebody experienced with that type of thing, because that little dog was gutted, remember? That is corroborated. There was a dog skinned 3 weeks. Bye, neighbor. Hi. Okay, bye. The way I look to the side, I'm being watched. It's like, you're like busted on your phone. Like, hi. And then they think you're talking to them. You're like, I'm trying to do a video, right? The dog was gutted and filleted, which is relevant to that video I posted, only because it does show what it really looks like to slice up an animal when you're hunting. And the little dog was skinned. And your little dog too? Not the time for jokes. They skinned that poor little dog. Ugh. And then somebody told me, actually, that I talked to, who lives in Idaho, told me that she didn't think that was linked, because she said people will do that, maybe to practice. And she said a lot of people, like, it's just a big hunting area. So that's like basically what they do, is apparently they skin animals. And I'm not opposed to hunting, but it's probably more humane than like farming or whatever, but factory farming, that is. But I personally would have a difficult time doing that to an animal, I guess. Even when I catch a fish and I hold the fish, I'm just like, yeah. Right, exactly. It takes a special type of person to do that to a dog, which is, they're not saying it's linked, but the whole point of it is just that there's people out there that will take some little animal and have absolutely zero empathy for it and do that to it. And so that's why whomever did this crime, obviously, I think, has antisocial personality disorder. You know, they've got to be some sort of sociopath. I mean, nobody, doesn't matter how angry you get, you don't do that. Certain people have something in their brain that like doesn't allow them, you know, there's these crimes of passion where you snap, but this doesn't seem like that, because these people were sleeping in their beds. So clearly this perpetrator was waiting to catch them off guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out some of the steps that were conducted, you know, with the crime or whatever. We still don't know the order. You know, we're changing the order around. And none of this really matters. The point is that there's some lunatic on the loose right now that's capable of doing that and is danger. Their community, wherever this person is it's a risk. So the police, I don't know. They need to try. I would imagine the whole town's got to be freaked out. They said that the locksmiths were super busy. I mean, that's probably the best time to be a locksmith in that town right now, or whatever. But people are just on edge, as they should be. But now they're trying to, they, as in people's, I don't know, trying to see. We don't know if these were rumors or what's corroborated, what's true, what's not, you know. I know those photos are true from somebody's Facebook page, and I know that that's the type of potential weapon that was used. So it gives a picture of that, and that maybe some madman would want to do that to people, you know, had some previous hunting experience. Does that make sense? Because it's very common there. That's all I'm saying. And there's, I don't know. I'm not trying to say, oh, all these hunters are horrible people or anything, because they're not. Yeah, you know, to them, it is a more humane way to get an animal to have meat, you know, healthier than the, you know, the factory farming, you know. But it's just pointing out that the capability of somebody using that type of weapon, you know. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I guess I'll just hang up and post this. And I'm rambling, but I made a few good points, I guess. Thanks for joining.